Welcome back. We're going to do chapter 12.4, in which we're adding and subtracting polynomials. This is a very nice section because it's pretty much combining like terms with just a little bit more work for subtracting. Addition is nice, so we'll go ahead and start with a very nice example. And we will have 6x cubed minus 5x squared minus 1. All of that plus another polynomial, x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4. Alright, so the first thing we're looking at are these parentheses. When we are adding, we still follow order of operations, which say parentheses first, and then, exponents, multiply and divide, PEMDAS. But we need to figure out, are these parentheses really important here? So we'll look inside. There's no like terms. Okay, let's check if there's any exponents. There's none. And then always check in front. If there's some sort of number out front being multiplied, then we have to use distributive law in order to get rid of the parentheses. But there's nothing. So we're safe. In fact, these parentheses are useless. So let's just rewrite this without the parentheses. Alright, then we have plus this thing in parentheses. There's no exponents. There's no like terms inside to combine. And in the front is only a plus. And a positive times a positive doesn't change anything. Positive times a negative doesn't change anything. It's kind of boring. So we can drop the parentheses. It's very nice. Now that the parentheses are gone, we can combine like terms. So we have 6x cubed plus x cubed, which really we have one of them. So we have 6 plus 1 gives us 7x cubed. Remember, we only combine same base to same power. Sure, a lot of these guys have x's, but they need to have the same degree. So this had a 3, so did this guy, that's why we combined them. Now the next guy, we have negative 5x squared. So we need an x squared in order to combine him with anything. Oh, here we are. So we have a negative 3x squared, which gives us negative 8x squared. And then last but not least, we have our constants, which we have negative 1 plus 4, which gives us positive 3. And it's already in descending order. It goes 3, 2, there's no x, and then the constant. And I don't need to write the missing term because I'm not concerned about that. I just want to add the two polynomials together. Okay, so adding's nice. You pretty much drop the parentheses and just combine like terms. What we have to worry about is when there's not a plus sign there. So let's take, for instance, we have a negative x cubed plus 4x minus 1. And there's a negative out in front of the parentheses. We're going to have to use distributive law to drop the parentheses. Essentially, you can think of this negative out front as a negative 1 times this entire thing. So we take that negative 1 and distribute it to each term. So negative 1 times x cubed is negative x cubed. Negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. And negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So you pretty much just change the signs. Let's go ahead and see one more like this, where we'll have negative x cubed plus 3x minus 4. So we have that negative sitting out in front again. So we're going to take it and distribute it to each term. And just make sure you distribute it to every term. So we have a negative times a negative gives us a positive x cubed. And you don't need to write positive in front since it's the first term, we know it is. Negative distributes to the positive, so now that becomes negative 3x. And then we have a negative times a negative, which is a positive 4. And then we're good. So this is powerful because when we have to subtract. Let's start off with a nice polynomial. We have 5x cubed plus x minus 7, excuse me, minus the polynomial 2x cubed minus 4x plus 3. So we do the same thing that we did in addition, where we are concerned about these parentheses. They usually have a reason to be there. Here they're to exaggerate our two polynomials that we're subtracting. The first polynomial, there's no exponents, there's nothing out in the front. The parentheses aren't important, so just go ahead and drop them. They were just there to exaggerate this polynomial. But now, the second polynomial, we have parentheses here. There's no exponent, but we do have something other than a plus sign in the front, a negative, which requires us to distribute it to each term. So we really have negative 2x cubed plus 4x minus 3. And now we just combine like terms as usual. We have 5x cubed minus a 2x cubed, which gets us 3x cubed. We have 1x plus 4x, which gets us 5x. And last but not least, we have a negative 7 plus a negative 3, which is negative 10. And there's our final answer. And that's all.